everyone. Welcome down to another episode of the Rough Cut Golf Podcast, where we are joined today by a very special guest who we will get onto and introduce in just a moment. However, I just want to give a big shout out to today's sponsors, which are NordVPN. Now, we have been having a great time with NordVPN, and many of you have as well, taking advantage of an offer that we have exclusively for you. But NordVPN, they've been a great sponsor and a great supporter of the channel and of the podcast. So if you were thinking about getting a VPN or you don't have one already, then please, we recommend that you use this link and get your offer today.
That's correct. The link is nordvpn.com/roughcut. And what you get, which is the name of this podcast, and what you,
if you didn't know to this point,
and what you get is when you buy a 2-year plan, they're going to just hand you 4 months for free. They're like, just take it, which is great because you'll stay protected, you'll stay safe, you'll stay looked after. You can mildly trick the internet into thinking that you're in a different place than you actually are, so you can watch your favorite shows, you can purchase products in other countries and benefit from the local geographic discounts, and you can do all of this for the price of basically not as much coffee as Pete drinks, but as much coffee as a normal person drinks in a week.
It's just a single cup of coffee a month, isn't it? Basically?
It is, yeah. Which is barely anything.
Yeah.
No. Or tea.
Now, Jacob is booking all of our trips for the coming 2026 season. The board is filling up very, very quickly. Mm-hmm. Do you remember using NordVPN on a trip in the last year? And do you imagine using NordVPN on a trip in the coming year?
Yes and yes. Absolutely, I do. And I think with anyone, if they want to go away and they want to get cheaper flights, using NordVPN to do so is the perfect way to do it, especially as well into this festive period. Ooh. If you're traveling, if you're going away for Christmas, if you want to watch the World Darts Championships, if you wanted to watch the Grant Thornton Invitational, you could have.
Yeah. It's two very specific sporting events. One thing would be if you use the discount as well, I can get a new microphone. That'd be absolutely ideal. So nordvpn.com/roughcut to get that discount. And like I said, Nord have been a great supporter of the channel. So if you do want to go check them out, that'd be absolutely superb. Okay. So we are currently sat in very rainy Manchester, but we are going to be going across to a very special guest in Josh Simpson. Now, if you don't recognise the name or you don't recognise the moniker of Ginger Golfer, he is a new world record holder. So he has played the most golf courses in a single year of any human being to have ever existed. And that's quite a lot of people.
When you put it like that, that is absurd, isn't it? Yeah. You are the one.
From the very first caveman who started fire up until now, he is the player who's had the most experiences on a golf course in a single year.
If you were going to try and break a world record, what world record would be like the coolest one to have?
I mean,
aside from this one,
the coolest. I think the coolest thing is the 100 meters, because then you can say you are the fastest person in the world. That's the coolest one.
Yeah.
I would say first person to win 12 Masters.
Okay.
If that's unlikely.
Are you looking forward to doing that one day? Yeah.
First person to win 12 Opens. But if that's not likely either, I'd probably say oldest person in the world.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah. I hadn't thought of that one. That is good.
First person to go to Mars.
Mm-hmm.
Coming soon. Not on this channel. But, somewhere.
And then to complete the 5, I'm going to have to think of something else.
Is this your own little grand slam you've got going here?
Yeah, I mean, it's
just the first two, all of them are entirely unachievable.
Just don't want to. Well, I mean,
if he stays old enough, then he can win 12 Opens.
Be the oldest person.
Just don't die.
Be the oldest person in the world. That is achievable to some degree.
Yeah, you would probably have to stop traveling so much, drinking so much coffee, staying up late. You do a lot of things which we were talking about this the other day. Cool. Got to cut that out. Thank you so much for that. I think I should make a supercut of all the things I've had to cut out of the podcast.
I'm just saying, if you do, the chances are you're not going to be one of the oldest people in the world.
No, that's true. Is it?
It's just a fact.
Yeah. Okay.
Just medical.
Isn't there a weird place in America which has the most like the like longevity of the people who live there is the highest in the world.
No, you got green zones, haven't you, across the
okay.
world? There's an interesting Netflix documentary about it. It's relatively interesting. It's just about like places in the world where there's an higher than average life expectancy. There's like one in Japan, one in Italy. There's like all around the world, green zones or blue zones, one of the two. I'm colorblind. It's a zone. Anyway,
It's all the same.
I will be living in one of those zones pretty soon as the oldest man in the world and doing zero drugs. Apart from Adderall or something. I don't know. Advil. Quite like that.
Yeah, that's one of the things you always bring back from America, isn't it? When we go,
Packets of Advil.
yeah.
It's literally it. I reckon my insides are a mess. Anyway, the inside of Josh's van isn't a mess.
Yeah, it looked
How's that for a
surprising.
segue?
That was nice, yeah.
Looked surprisingly tidy and well put together for someone who has lived out of it for the last
What it's
200
like,
and something days.
what it's like behind the camera is the
Right,
real test.
yeah.
Everything's just chucked.
Yeah, yeah. Well, just for an example, it looks very neat and tidy this side of the camera. The other side of the camera is like 30 putters over there, a load of camera equipment, a load of boxes.
Should have gone to do a tour of the van. Anyway, we are about to embark on a journey of podcasting with a man who's done a journey of golf courses. Here's Josh. Okay, we are joined by Josh in the back of a van in the middle of sunny Oxfordshire. How are we doing, mate? You good?
Yeah, not too bad. Thanks for having me on.
Not a problem. Well, thank you for coming on. Thank you for taking the time out of your literally very busy schedule to come have a chat to us. Whereabouts are you in the world right now?
We're in the car park of Flower Heath Golf Club. We're just 18 holes today, which is becoming more and more like a day off at the moment. The kind of a day away from the 36-hole grind. But yeah, the weather is good. We're double digits for December, which is certainly I'm very happy with.
Better than the snow and the ice, definitely. I think just for anybody who doesn't kind of know what you've been doing or kind of what this whole record is about, do you just want to give us a kind of a brief synopsis? Give us your bio.
Yeah, so I mean, a couple of years ago, lost mum very suddenly to lung cancer within a space of a couple of months, and I think it just changed the way that I looked at life. And I wanted to do something good. I wanted to raise some money for charity, and I love playing golf courses more importantly, and thought, you know what? Why didn't I try and break the world record for the most different golf courses played in a year? So currently stands at, well, I say currently stands, it doesn't anymore. It stood at 580, and so I think at the moment we are 591, I think I've just done this morning. And yes, we've got until the 23rd of January. So we'll see if we can build it up as much as possible.
Right. I was going to say, because I was taking a peek of your website, and we'll stick, if you want to follow Josh on his journey, we'll stick all his socials up and his website in the description as well. If you are listening to this, we will kind of throw his socials on at the end as well. But yeah, I was, because you got, what's the target that you have?
Well, I've got the projection, so that's based off to the kind of current pace that we've gone at this year if we were to carry on.
And what's that at? What's the projection?
I think it's probably just under 670 at the moment.
Okay, yeah, because I saw that on the website and I was like, there's no way he's going to be able to do that before the end of the year, but it's a year from the time that you started, which makes absolutely perfect sense. Do you know who had the previous record?
Yeah, so it's a guy called Patrick Koenig, I think is how you pronounce his surname. He's an American chap. He just had a corporate job, wanted to become a golf photographer, went around in the US in his big motorhome, and I think someone told him at the end of playing golf every day for a year that the record back then was only 449, and he was like, oh, wow, I nearly did that, and I wasn't even trying. So he then had a year, which was 2023 to 2024, and he decided to try and go hard, and he played 580, and then a few months later he had some ginger in his DMs from the UK, and here we stand.
Wow! So
over 580.
You only let him have the record for a year.
Yeah, do you know what? Looking back at it now, I do feel quite bad because at the time it was, I obviously wasn't thinking about it properly, but I've had time to reflect and realize actually a really nice guy, because it was, I think he broke it in January and I probably was messaging him going, I want to try and break your record in about May.
Wow.
So
straight away. I was going to say, when was the moment? Because obviously there is a very big difference between coming up with an idea and then executing on it and saying, you know what, I am actually going to do this? Like, was there a moment where you thought, okay, yeah, it's kind of the planning has reached the stage now where it's become inevitable? Was there a point of that?
Yeah, I suppose so. I mean, it was one of them things that the whole kind of idea came on a journey, a long road trip to the Netherlands last year. And I was just chatting to a really good friend of mine, and he was egging me on to do it. And, you know, every time I kept going back to him with reasons why it was a bad idea, he kept coming back with, you're in the prime of your life physically, you don't have a partner, don't have kids, don't have, you know, this is the time to do it.
Yeah.
And so I think I probably hit the button in about November. It was the kind of the financial logistics were, you know, am I even able to afford it? And I figured out if I had to pay 600 green fees in a year, it would be quite tough alongside the motorhome and food and fuel and gas and all that kind of stuff. So we emailed a lot of golf clubs in England just to see if they'd be receptive to the idea of letting me play for free. And a lot of them thankfully were. So that we kind of had a bit of something, you know, throughout that. And then there was a lot of sleepless nights and a lot of, am I doing the right thing? I gave up a business and I had no chance of getting that back. So it was kind of like, if I do this and I hit this button, it could all go wrong. What if I get injured? And then, you know, and I think I realized that, you know what, you only get one shot at life. You don't know when your last day is going to be, and you don't know what happens to you at the end. So just do it, just full steam ahead. And by that time, November, when I did hit the button, I was that motivated. As soon as I hit the button, I knew I was going to do it, because I had no other option but to do it.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, you said obviously, you know, this is in memory of your mum. I mean, yeah, and you've obviously been raising money for charity. How much have you managed to raise so far?
It got me on the spot. I think we're about 30, between 35 and 40 grand. I've got a big silent auction at the moment on the website, which has kind of your Wentworths and Turnberries and stuff like that. And I think at the moment, the current winning bids of that is another 25 grand.
Wow.
I've got 10 grand coming in from a sponsor. So yeah, I think if we finish kind of within the 60, 70 region, I'd be over the moon.
Yeah, that's incredible. And might as well get it there now. So what is the website if people do want to go check it out? We'll get that in there early.
So yeah, so on it's gingergolf.co.uk, and then obviously on Instagram and on TikTok, I'm just ginger.golf.
Okay, that's wonderful. I'm sure a lot of people are following you already, but if you're not, make sure you go check Josh out. And obviously, we're talking now, and it's not long since you actually kind of passed the threshold and clinched the record.
A week ago today.
A week ago. What was that like? I'm just trying to put myself in your shoes in some respect. Literally the only thing I've done journey-wise is I did John O'Groats to Land's End. And by the time I got to the end of that, and that was over 20 days, you know, this was a mere fraction of what you've been doing. And I remember getting to the end of that and thinking, that was good. But like having kind of like a small sense of achievement, but also having like a sense of, what's next? Maybe not having kind of a full amount of closure on that. Like, what was the actual feeling like when you managed to get through that final 18 to clinch the record?
It was great. I mean, it was a really chaotic day. We had a big charity day, so there was nearly 100 people playing in it, and there was probably a fair few more kind of on the 18th green as well. So it was, because I'd never run a charity day before, and I'd done pretty much all of the organising myself. I had a couple of really, really helpful people on the day, kind of sharing the workload, but it was the chaos of people turning up late for that. It was the kind of the dropouts. And so I didn't really the whole day have time to breathe. And so I remember kind of doing all that, and then everyone went out, and then it was like, right, BBC, I think I had to do BBC Radio Norfolk interview, and then it was onto the course. And then it was like, hold on a minute, it's getting real now, probably about 16, 17. And then a few people started walking around. And then by the time I was walking down the 18th tee or the 18th fairway, I had a group of probably, 30, 40 people behind me. And then obviously up on the green, there was it's a very, a great venue. It was almost like an amphitheatre type. So there's loads of people up on the hill. It still hasn't really sunk in. And I think that's purely down to the fact that I'm still playing golf every day. The motivation might be a little bit harder to find now that I've done it. And it's almost, I need to try and build up the number as much as possible. But it was a special day. Yeah. I was so glad that I had friends and family, people who did play golf, people who don't, who just wanted to come and support. It was genuinely, it was a perfect day. But even after, it was more interviews and Sky Sports and kind of all of that stuff. So I probably didn't get to appreciate the day as much as maybe I would have liked to, but it was a really special moment sharing that kind of putt on the 18th green with Dad. Someone who was a little bit kind of worried about the idea, and he was, of a different generation.
Oh, hello. Sorry, I think it just drops out for a moment there. I think I've got you back again.
Okay. It's just tough. Dad's from a different generation, so it's seeing, him actually realize, oh my goodness, there's all these people here, have all played with Josh this year, and it was a really special moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, it's a huge undertaking and this huge project. Obviously, it's going to be touching a lot of people's lives as you go up, down, around, and back again across the country. Certainly on the website, having a look at the map of the route that you've taken.
Chaos. Absolute chaos.
Absolutely wild. I mean, is it, because obviously the case of you trying to find places to play, and I'm presuming, are you playing tomorrow?
Of course.
So what was and where are you playing tomorrow?
I'm going to be completely honest. I think Wickham Heights. I think I've got a couple of friends who do all the booking stuff, so I just kind of go where I'm told.
Yeah, I was going to say, because what's the actual process? So you're going to finish talking to me today. You've obviously played your round this morning. So what do you do from now until you tee off tomorrow?
Well, it's a bit of a rare day because I've just got 18 holes. At the moment, even with this light, I'm trying to play 36. So it would usually then be, after I finish the second round, jump in the shower, probably have a drink with the people I've played with, jump in the shower, make sure I've got all of the verification stuff that I need, and then have a look at the spreadsheet, figure out where I am the day after, and then put that into the sat nav, and then find somewhere along the way to try and find some food. And then obviously I've got other little bits like the washing. Every now and again I'll need to jump off and get the laundry done, or try and find a haircut, which is quite tough to do. Just the normal stuff that everybody takes for granted. Haircuts. I think I went 100 days without one. And then it's jumping into kind of getting the video made for social media that I do every day, posting that. There's a lot of stuff that happens behind the scenes that I think if everybody experienced that might not realize it's the dream that everyone thinks it might be on the surface.
Yeah. Well, I mean, especially if you're doing everything yourself as well. I mean, that's kind of chaos. It's good that you do have kind of help organising the tea times though.
The first 60 days I was doing everything myself.
Oh, wow.
And I think I only averaged about 1.5 a day. And it was so tough because there's a certain few restrictions that Guinness imposed. So the course has to play over 6,000 yards, which, in any other world doesn't mean anything. But then you realize that 52% of golf courses in Scotland don't qualify because they're too short, or 9 holes. And so there's another layer of complexity. So I've got two guys, Andy and Alex, who are just brilliant. One makes the phone calls and reaches out to clubs that we may not have an invite to. And then Alex is the kind of the brains behind it. He'll do the mapping, make sure that each journey from course to course is within driving distance, and obviously in between the two rounds, especially this time of year where daylight's at such a premium. Making sure that they're all within kind of 15, 20 minutes of each other.
I was going to say, has there been any have there been any misbookings, which was supposed to be in London and all of a sudden forget that it's in Glasgow?
There was one or two. There was one up in Scotland. I think I turned up I was supposed to be at Wigtonshire County Golf Club,
of course,
and I just put Wigton. And I think there was a golf course called Wigtonshire, but no one. This wasn't my fault for once, but they put Wigtonshire in, which is a little 9-hole course. So I turned up and there was no one there, and I was like, what's going on? But luckily it was only 25 minutes away, and it was a really horrible day, so no one was playing anyway. So we managed to get it. But there's been a couple like that. I've got another memory of turning up to. We thought we'd get a cheeky 54-hole day in, even after the clocks had gone back, and my friend he was on the board at, I think it was at Druids Heath Golf Club over in Birmingham. And he was like, right, just turn up and I'll get you out. I'll drive you around on a buggy. We'll get around in, hour and a half. And I ended up in my head thinking that I was going to Coppt Heath Golf Club instead. So I'd gone the complete wrong direction. And I messaged him going, where are you? And realized, And then Alex, the booking guru with the sense of humor he had, decided to put in the future cop teeth and druid teeth on the same day, just as a little reminder of the mistake that was made on the day.
I mean, in all fairness, like considering how long you've been on the road for and how many courses, I mean, there must be some standouts which we'll get on to, but the amount of holes are just going to blur into one, like across the course of that year. I mean, how have you physically coped with it? Because, you know, playing golf every day, playing golf twice a day, it can be fairly demanding. Like, have you actually picked up any injuries?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose they were the two things that I was a bit skeptical. You could do all the planning in the world, but how you're going to cope mentally and how you're going to cope physically are the two unknowns. And so I tried to scalp as much information from the previous holders, and physically you just get used to it. I mean, I've had a couple of little niggles. I've had some really leggy days. I wake up and I feel horrible. I have days where I wake up and I feel absolutely fine. I've had a couple of like repetitive strain injuries in the wrists. Probably doesn't help I'm so steep with the golf swing. But maybe the shoulders and the back and stuff like that. I've got quite lucky. But you get used to it. I remember chatting to Dad one week and saying, look, you know, I've done 13 days in a row of 36 holes or more. And he was like, Josh, you need to slow down. Like you're going to injure yourself. And then I obviously, as you do with parents, you don't listen to them. And I think I went on and did 87 days in a row of 36 or more. And it's just everyone thinks that's crazy, or the fact that I 20 courses in 7 days is my record, 5 in a row of 54 and then a 36 and another 54. But you've got no other choice. You know, you just build up that tolerance to it, you know, which makes it obviously a little bit more normalized, and to the point where if you like today where you've got a day where you're just 18 holes, you're scratching around going, what am I doing? You know, I need to be out there playing more golf. Yeah.
No, I mean, you're saying about getting steep there. I mean, across all this time, I suppose what a lot of people will want to know is, have you actually got better at golf over this period of time?
My handicap stayed within 5 shots, which I am over the moon, because I've put every round in on my little spreadsheet. Nice. So I've got a true reflection, which is on the website. I started the year off at 4.7. The lowest I've been was 3.0, which I think was the start of summer from memory, over around when I was in about Wales. And the highest has gone to 8.4. So I think 5.4 is a kind of difference, which I'm so happy with. I mean, there's been a few stressful times. It's been that little bit of mental stimulation, which has helped me this year, going, we're getting really close to the high point now. And I remember in that week of where I did 20 courses, you know, my full handicap changed in a week. There was one point where it was about 7.5 or something. And I was, after 54 holes, in a net on FaceTime to a friend, just trying to find something. And I think I shot 3 over the day after. Nice. So I was quite happy. But it's just, you know, at the end of the year, no one's, including me, is going to care what I shot. But it's just when you're playing golf every single day, it's just trying to find them little nuggets of how can I keep myself interested.
Yeah, that's good. Over that course of time, like, have you actually found any parts of your game improving without really thinking about it? Or
I think that, yeah, I mean, I've certainly become a better golfer. But there's parts that turn on, parts that turn off. I mean, at the moment, my driving, someone gave me a tip a couple of days ago, ball back in the stance a little, and I'm spinning it a lot less, and it's a lot more consistent. But then the short game, because it's so soft, I'm really struggling again. But the short game, the lag putting as well, you know, everyone's like, well, you're playing on different greens, but you can kind of walk on a green and get an idea of if it's going to be quick or slow or whatnot. And so the lag putting, I think, is great. The short game was absolutely dialed for a few months. But as I say, we're now just getting into the territory now where it's a bit harder, and I'm fatting everything because, you know, the ground is so soft.
Yeah, no, it's a grim time of the year. Well, here in the UK it is anyway. I think with something like this, obviously you've got this amazing spread of courses that you've gone through now. And it's going to be quite a hard kind of question to ask, because I suppose a simple one would be, you know, out of everything you've played so far, like, what's your favorite course?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose that's the question I get asked the most. I mean, it's an impossible one. I mean, how you can differentiate between a Heathland golf course and a links golf course is something I still struggle finding an answer to. I kind of put it into a top 10 category, but these are purely the best golf courses. I think over in Northern Ireland, County Down and Portrush were up there amongst some of the best I think I'll ever play.
Amazing.
In England, not far away from where I am now, you've got Sunningdale, the old course there, Swinley Forest, St George's Hill. From a Heathland perspective, is just as good as it gets. And then Scotland, I think they do links courses so much better than we do in England. There's just such a variety. The three Trump courses, the Turnberry, and then the new one up in Aberdeen, and the old one up in Aberdeen. And then probably I'd finish that off with maybe Kingsbarns and North Berwick. I mean, it just all comes down to what your preference is and what kind of golf you prefer. You know, some people will like the kind of the built-up dunes of the Trumps and the Kingsbarns, or some people will like something a bit quirkier, something a bit more kind of your Dornoch or your North Berwick, which is a bit more kind of traditional. I mean, I've had some cool experiences. I just wish I could have not gone through them at 200 miles an hour, because it was often, you know, kind of, it's been great, but I've got to go and play another golf course now.
Yeah. I think probably a test of this, I suppose, if you, let's say when you stop this and, you know, you have a couple of days off, and you could grab some friends and you could head back somewhere again, either if it's a course or if it's a part of the country, so you could actually embrace and enjoy it a little bit more. Like, whereabouts would you go?
Surrey is hard to beat for me. I absolutely love the Heathland golf courses in Surrey. There's just I think it's an underrated. I think everyone from America and abroad will come and visit the open rotor courses and go to Scotland and Northern Ireland. But I don't think as many will go down into the kind of Surrey sandbelt. And I think it's my favourite place to play golf.
No, it is incredible down there. I mean, like I said, the variety of different Heathland courses around there as well is special. I've never played Swinley before. That's on the list.
That's special. That's very special.
Just very pretty,
so
isn't
good
it, as well?
Yeah, well, Harry Colt is a big. That's probably my favourite architect, and he's always very known for his par threes. And Swinley is a great example of that.
Oh, nice. No, I love that. What's been the best score over the year?
1 under. I shot 1 under. I beat golf. I think before this year it was 2 over. So I think I hit 14 greens. Just everything was going well. Could have held a few more putts, I suppose, as everyone will always say. There's always a few out there. Yeah. But that was over in North Wales at a golf course called Rudland. And I just everything went well. And it was a pretty proud moment.
No, I love that. That's so cool. I think with everything that you've kind of gone through within this, I think, what are some of the biggest reflections that you've taken? It's, I suppose, over the course of a year, and you've spent, a lot of time on your own, probably thinking about a lot of things. I mean, what are some of the things that kind of like stand out?
I think the golf community to me is just as good as it gets. I've played with so many different people this year, from CEOs of companies and celebrities to assistant greenkeepers and people trying to, young, old, different races, different genders. And I think that it just shows that there's no sport like it, where you can not only play the same game that the best in the world have played and on the same courses, but you can also mix with people that in another world you wouldn't really have a lot in common with. And it's just, golf is this kind of shared sport that you can just create a conversation and chat and almost just nerd and geek out over a sport. And I think that's great. I've really enjoyed that. And in a world for me this year where everything is the same and it's Groundhog Day, and you're playing maybe a different golf course, but you're playing golf every day. Yeah. The people are what make it different.
Oh, amazing. Any particular characters that stand out?
Yeah, I mean, there's been a few, some probably not mentionable, but yeah, there's been a few funny ones. Just again, it's just you meet so many different people, and you've got some that I will have come away from this year and think, do you know what? I'm going to be friends with these people for the rest of my life, because they're a bit of me, Yeah. But then the flip side of that, the law of averages. I think I've played with over 1,000 different people this year. Wow. And you're not going to get on with everybody the same way. Everybody is lovely, but some people are just are wired a little bit differently, and some people you'll obviously get on with a little bit more than others.
Yeah, people taking 2 minutes over a pre-shot routine when you've got another course to get to. I get it.
Oh, exactly. Don't literally. That was my next. That was what I was going to say next. I mean, you get some people who just don't really understand that. This isn't my first rodeo. I've done this a fair few times, and you're kind of meeting them on the first tee, and they go, "Oh, well, you kind of tell them the little pre-match stuff, which is, I've got to hole everything out," and they go, "Oh, that's fine. I will as well," and you're like.
No, you don't have to. I mean, your definition of slow play must have altered somewhat over the course of this.
Yeah.
And what does this? I suppose we won't know really until the end. But do you think from this point when you actually finish that you'll be a normal golfer again? Do you think you could get down into the 1 round a week, just being a member of a club, kind of playing every so often?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the one thing I've learned this year, I mean, I am a bit sick of golf now, which is, I suppose, the tagline that everybody kind of asks, and that's the question that everybody will. But I just need a bit of a break.
Yeah.
I can see myself there is that kind of debate with if you work in the space and you work in the industry, whether that be a pro or a GM or whatever, is too much of a good thing. Is it a thing? And yeah, it is. But I still want a job within the golf space at the end of it. I still love golf. I love the sport. I just probably need a bit of a break and, go somewhere warm and put the feet up. But I could see myself jumping into, playing maybe a couple of times a week and just enjoying it a little bit more. But slow play might still get on the nerves a little bit.
What were you doing prior to this, Josh?
I had a lawn care business.
Right.
So my dad passed it down. So we had about 450 customers all around Norfolk. Where we'd see them all 4 times a year, kind of weed, feed, scarify and that kind of stuff. And it was a great business. It was great. Dad had set me up for life with that. But with everything that happened with Mum, I just thought, you know what? I don't really want to live in Norfolk for the rest of my life. It's a lovely place, but it's a bit too quiet for me. I want to get out and explore a little bit more. And I thought, I'm going to put all the eggs in one basket and see if we can make this work. And it was the biggest decision I've ever had to make. It was the riskiest decision I've ever made because, at the end of it, I might not have had anything, I might not have even broke the record. So it was an all or nothing kind of thing. And luckily we're on the other side and injuries didn't really happen, which was lucky. And the weather over in the UK this year was sublime. I mean, as the sun pokes out now somehow in Oxfordshire.
I cannot believe that you're seeing some sunshine. It is biblical here.
It's followed me around all year. Just stay in the same postcode as me and you'll be safe.
Wow, unbelievable. Right, mate. Well, I mean, obviously you've got to say good luck for the rest of the year of playing. Only about a month now, isn't it, to go until you're fully finished. Do you have a venue down for the last course?
Yeah, so we're just confirming it now. It's going to be Prince's down on the south coast.
As far as you can physically go for a round of golf in the UK.
Yeah, so we're going to see if we can get a little charity day going again, which was a cool moment. So around the day off with some friends and family, and then actually a day that I can celebrate and not have to worry about the playing golf the day after. Oh
yeah, absolutely. No, it's a really cool spot down there. Well, if you have been listening to this and you're not sure, you're not checked out Josh before, make sure you do on socials. Make sure you do via the website as well. And let's just give it one more shout out, Josh. What's the Instagram?
Ginger.golf.
Ginger.golf and the website?
gingergolf.co.uk. Nice and easy.
I mean, it's very, very simple. I don't think you can kind of mistake that. And obviously, if you do have anything spare and you can donate, make sure you hop over to the website and do that now. Let's try and push this towards 100K if we can. I mean, I think it's going to be getting pretty close to that.
It'd be a really cool thing. That's a stupid amount of money. And I think anything they have is certainly worth having.
Amazing. All right, Josh. Well, thank you so much for hopping on, talking to us, mate. Really, really appreciate it. Good luck with the rest of the journey as well.
Thank you for having me. No golf to play.
No worries, mate. Okay, so yeah, great to talk to Josh. Like I said, if you've not checked him out, please go and do that now. And if you can donate, please do as well.
Yeah,
I think the way he's progressing, if he can get near 100K raised for a year in memory of his mum, that would be
awesome.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah,
so
very cool.
Try and do that. Right, okay. Are we? I don't really feel we've got a lot to add to this that we can't just add to our next podcast. I think we should just keep this pretty Josh heavy, really.
Yeah. He's the main event. He's earned it.
Yeah, we didn't do it. So.
Yeah, we did very little towards it.
No, we've done nothing really.
Well, we're sharing the story. We're encouraging people to now go and tell him how incredible he did and donate some money.
Okay.
So do those things.
We have done something, Pete. Don't get so sad.
Don't be so sad.
I've just done nothing.
So we're announcing now Pete's going to be breaking the record next year.
I'm not. I'm really, really not. I think we should just keep this one with Josh for a while.
Okay.
I think he's going to have enough people trying to do it. So
Yeah.
we'll bat everyone away, mate. Okay, right. That's it. We're done.
We'll see you next week. Next week we are going to be doing a face-off. It's going to be Jacob Broadbridge versus Peter Finch in the Rough Cut Golf Quiz of the Year. So look forward to that. How well do you think you know the 2025 golf season?
Nah, it's gone, mate.
I want to say well.
Yeah.
I think when it comes around to it, not as well as I think, but it'll be fine. As long as I put in a semi-average performance.
Yeah. Mid-table.
How many questions are there?
Well, there's at least one per month. There's 20 in total.
Okay. I'm going to sweep him.
Oh, wow. We've got to go back 12 months.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness
Yeah.
me.
I'm talking about, like, who finished 14th at the...
Okay, now I'm struggling.
at the Century at the beginning of it. Yeah. You Strugglesville.
We could do that.
No research allowed.
Okay.
Right. Okay. So that's going to be next week. And then the week after that is going to be Christmas. Or maybe not.
Yeah, like end of year. Like we might do an end of year review. You might not be here because you're going somewhere else. You're going to London?
I don't know what I'm doing anymore.
Okay. We'll see you next week, and then we'll see you the week after that, and then weirdly enough, we'll see the week after that also, until the end of time.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye. Till I die.
Which is never.
Leaving it in.
Oldest man in the world.